you so much for taking time out of your crazy day. It's 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I see Drake's popping in, so I'll give him a minute to pop in. Hold on a second. All right, Drake's popped in. Okay, cool. First of all, thank you so much for even taking time out of your crazy day. It's a Tuesday at 1 o'clock. I'm sure people can be doing a lot of things besides listening to me rant and rave. So I appreciate everybody that takes time out of their day even to join. Today is all about attitude. Today is all about how your attitude can dictate and determine every single thing you're on. To me, attitude is everything, right? But when you break down attitude, and guys, if you have any comments, any suggestions, anything you want me to talk about, feel free to put in the chat. Like I said, I know you're off camera. I'm sure you're working, so I'm not worried about, this is not about me. This is not about me getting a message across. This is really to make a difference. If you see my shirt, it says make a difference, passion, purpose, growing with Grossi. It's all about making a difference. So my whole agenda in this whole thing is to make the greatest impact or difference in your life. So if there's something you need to address, anything you want to talk, this is all about you. We are growing together with the Dentist CEO, growing with Grossi. We're just growing together. So as I'm lecturing or as I'm speaking, I'm growing with you. So if there's anything you have questions about, feel free to put them in the chat. I'm here to serve you. Thumbs up if you got this. If not, we're going to get going. But look at what exactly, thank you guys, thank you. What exactly is an attitude? If you think of the definition of an attitude, it is a settled way of thinking or feeling about someone or something, typically one that is reflected in the person's behavior. So to me, if attitude is everything, how you feel and how you think determine your attitude. And we all know people can have a good attitude or bad attitude, and we've seen it. We see people every single day, how they carry themselves. What is their body language? What are they responding at? And we know the results we're going to get based on somebody's attitude. We had a saying in baseball. How you carry yourself is you got to match your body's attitude. What you can usually dictate about somebody is reading their body language. If somebody's sloped down, guys, if they're sitting like this and they're sloped down, let's be honest, it's probably they're going to have a bad result in their day. They're going to have a bad mindset. They're going to have a bad they're not going to think logically. So if nobody wants to be around, just so you know, that's why I said attitude is everything. Nobody wants to be around somebody that has a bad attitude. We've all seen them. We call them about the energy drainers, right? If somebody's come in, they're jumping around, they're dancing around in life, and they're singing and they're happy, guys, you're attracted to them. You're saying they got a great attitude, they got a great demeanor. I like people that have like the bulldog mentality, right? There's nothing that can get in their way to change where they want to go. So to me, your attitude tells me everything about you. It tells me your belief system. It tells me how you're feeling in the moment. It tells me what you're really thinking. It tells me if you even believe there's a possibility to accomplish anything. So if attitude is everything, and your attitude dictates your results in life, how do you get your mind right? Like, how do you possibly go from a good attitude or a bad attitude? We have this thing in baseball. Everyone knows I love baseball. If you look at the Dentist CEO logo, it's a baseball logo. And so to me, we say, get your mind right. So attitude dictates performance. There'll be a gentleman in baseball might make an error. If anybody knows baseball, thumbs up. If you guys know what baseball is, if you don't, okay, hopefully you can just understand this logic. Ground ball gets hit to my shortstop. I'll use the third baseman because I know my nephew Drake's on this call. He was a third baseman. Let's say the third baseman makes an error and he's going to put his head down. Now, guys, when he puts his head down in that moment, he's only thinking of himself. He's not thinking of the team. His attitude is all about him. And so he feels bad and it sucks. And he might pout and he might kick a glove. And now it's becoming toxic to the whole team because the whole team is no longer focused on winning the game. They're focused on somebody's bad attitude. We've seen world-class athletes that we all know of. We've seen them in the news. I don't care. You can say Kyrie Irving. I'll call them out. We've seen athletes that have the most talent in the world, but we'll say their attitude sucks and nobody wants to be around them. So when attitude is everything, it's exactly what it is. Attitude sets up your belief system. It sets up how you think, how you feel, and how your behaviors are going to interact. So get your mind right. It starts with getting your mind right. You become, Proverbs says, you become exactly of how you think. You become exactly how you think. If your attitude is bad and you think there's no hope, you're exactly right. You will become that way and you'll accomplish nothing. If you think or behave or feel, because attitude is a thinking or feeling of someone or something, typically one that is reflected in a person's behavior. So if you think or feel a different way, a positive way, a happy way, I can do this way, or nothing's impossible way, your behaviors and feelings will totally change. So if how you think is how you feel and how you act, and all you have to do is program your attitude, you will become anything you ever wanted to become. So I can tell you guys are off camera, but we always say, man, I love the person or persons with the bulldog mentality. That's kind of like an attitude. We talk like a mentality of a bulldog. And when you think of that, when you think of an attitude of a bulldog, we think of something that would stop at nothing to accomplish wherever they're trying to get to. They just blow through every obstacle. So there's a certain DNA or energy level or feeling for somebody that has a bulldog mentality or attitude. So that means when you have dreams and goals and visions, if you can just become that bulldog, the white noise scatters. And all that bulldog means is it just wants something. If it wants a bone, it's going to get the dang bone. If it wants to eat its food, it's going to eat its food. If it wants love from their guardian or a caregiver, it's going to wag its tail and ask for love. Guys, I'll give you a good example. We've seen even, I know this is talking about dogs right now, but we've seen dogs that has an attitude that if they want their love, by golly, they're going to find a way to get their love. They're going to paw you. They're going to lick you. They're going to sit on you. And if you don't acknowledge them, they're still going to have that mentality like, you better pet me. And they will not stop unless they get pet. Why is that? They have an attitude. They want a feeling or thinking that they want love, and they go after it. So what makes an attitude good or bad, right? What makes it, how can somebody, example, somebody will say to you this, and we've all heard this about attitudes. We've heard somebody say, I'm having a bad day. Well, I would challenge you that that attitude is wrong. You're not having a bad day. We're not going to compass it in 24 hours. You're having a bad moment of the day. So how do you change from a bad day mentality, which is a negative attitude, which is pessimistic, which you're putting in a whole day, to just a moment of the day? It's by shifting how you feel or think. So if attitude is thinking and feeling and how you shift your behavior, all you have to do is say, you know what? You're right. Acknowledge you're having a bad moment. But then how do you get out of it? How do you get out of that attitude? How do you get away from that? You know, I was talking to one of my buddies on the phone and I asked him this question. And I said, you know, what would you tell somebody how to get out of bad attitude? And he said to me, this is not me, he says, I would always find something I love to do. I would find something that creates joy in my life. I would find something that would make me happy versus sad. I would find something that, you know, gives me joy. So I thought about my life. How do I possibly get from a good mood to a bad mood? How do I go from, or a bad mood to a good mood, excuse me? And it's simple. I first thinking about, okay, what is my intention in the day? And is my attitude matching my intention? Is my thinking or feeling or behavior matching what I really want to accomplish? So I can now, I'm so deep into it, I can self-reflect that and ask that. But I'm going to tell you, let's say you don't have a goal. Let's say you don't have a vision. Let's say you don't have a plan right now. How do you go from a bad attitude? I'm pumped up right now. So if you can't feel the energy coming through the screen, hey, I can't see y'all, but I'm pumped up because I love serving people. I love helping you. But how do I go from a bad attitude to good? It's really simple. Find something that lights you up. If it's petting your dog, get out of it. Change your physiology, you change your behavior. Change your thoughts, you change your behavior. If an attitude is a feeling or thinking or feeling or of a certain behavior, then you must change the way you think or feel. So your physiology of your body, if you're down and you're sad and you're depressed, don't dance. Go do something. Go work out. Go do something that's going to change your physiology. Meditate, breathe, Find something in your life that just lights you up. If it's your kids, think of your kids and the joy you have with your kids. Think of what is my intention and what am I trying to accomplish? What is it that this game of life is telling me to do? And if you can find the joy and happiness, you will instantly change your attitude. You will instantly realize it's something bigger than you. Every single thing you do, every time you think, every time you feel, every time you act, this is one question I'm going to ask you all. Am I getting closer to or further away from my goals? Is this behavior or action getting me closer to or further away? Guys, it's no different if you have an attitude thinking you can or can't. If you think you can or can't, and you say you can't, that word I can't, which is all bullshit, by the way, that word I can't. You might not want to, you might not want to choose to do it, but the word I can't is bullshit. Okay, so ignore that. We should have, I think one of my buddies, the same buddy I was talking about, who told me about how to get out of a bad attitude to a good attitude. They have a swear jar. And instead of a swear jar, they call it an I can't jar. And Ken, who's on this phone, knows exactly what I'm talking about, and he can give me a thumbs up. He has a jar in his house to his kids that says, if you ever say I can't, you owe me $1. And they got to put it in their I can't jar instead of a swear jar. What if we all had the mindset of that? What if every time we told ourselves we can't, we owe ourselves to pay $1 in there? Why? Because the word I can't is bullshit. What you don't see as possible, somebody else does. Somebody actually ran a 4-minute mile before there was ever hope of running a 4-minute mile. His attitude was not, I can't run a 4-minute mile. His attitude was, how can I run a 4-minute mile? What can I do? And if you can have an attitude of picking what you can do or what you choose to do or what you want to do or what's going to make you happy or what's going to get you closer to versus further away, nothing will stop you. Guys, if I would have had the attitude growing up with my mom, I think Linda's on the phone. I think give her a thumbs up. I think she's actually on here. If I would have had the attitude of I can't go to dental school because I can't do this. I had the bulldog mentality attitude that no matter what came in front of me, I could accomplish anything I want. So what would lead you to creating a good attitude if you don't have one? How did I possibly go from things not working out in my life to having them work out in my life? How did my attitude change? What were some of my strategies or ways that I did that, which I'm going to share with you? Some things that just might help you become the best version of yourself to make the greatest impact in your life so that you could maybe take a bad attitude to a good attitude. What did I do? Well, we talked about music. We talked about changing your physiology. Those are temporary fixes. Those are things that can get you out really fast. So if you find yourself going down a rabbit hole, boom, think of something you love to do. That's a trick to get you out. But how do you maintain it? How do you take it from a bad day to a bad moment to now killing and crushing your dreams for years and weeks and days and months and whatever you want to do? How do you do that? You have to believe it's possible. You must believe it. Another thing in the Bible is it says you are exactly what your thoughts are, but it also says you have not, but you ask for not, but you also got to believe it to achieve it. You must believe it to achieve it. You must actually believe in the impossible, that instead of impossible, I am possible. Instead of the word impossible, you need to change it to I am possible. I heard that, I believe, from Richie Dolan. So if it's someone else that did it, I apologize. I thought it was Richie Dolan that said that. I love what he said, but instead of impossible, it is I am possible. Anything I set my mind to, anything I believe in, everything that I want to achieve, I can manifest. You don't believe me? Think about it this way. If the Bible says you are the figment of what you think, that means that manifestation is real. So if all I have to do is change in between my two ears of what I believe is possible, and I focus on how to get there, and I focus on having that to get there, then once you believe it, and your behaviors, that your attitude that you're taking as anything as possible, and you're getting closer to something, you're going closer to something, you're going to start getting these many, many, many results that are going to pop up in your life. And these results that you get are now reintroducing the faith And the belief system that you have is like embedding it over and over again. If I said, anybody on the phone, if I said to Skylar McLaughlin, who's on this phone, hey, Sky, dude, if you do this for a week straight, you will get this result. If I said anything, it doesn't matter what it is. If I said, if you do this for a week straight, and let's talk about working out. Skylar, if you work out for a week, I guarantee you, you're going to get the results that's going to change your body. You're going to feel better. You're going to feel stronger. Your mind's going to be clearer, and you're going to be happier than you've ever been in your life. If he does that for a week and he gets results, his belief system is going to be totally different than it was a week prior. So what happens so many times, why attitudes change, go from good or bad, is because they meet resistance. And they don't realize it's not happening on their timetable. If you can eliminate all the bullshit about a timetable and you stay true to who you are, and you stay true to what your belief system is, and you stay true to your attitude, have the bulldog mentality and never stop, then the results are going to come. We have these three gatekeepers: fear, judgment, and ego. And they all dictate our attitude. Another Richie Dolenism thing. So you don't realize I love Richie Dolan. I follow him all the time. He's great. He's one of my coaches and mentors. But we have fear, judgment, and the ego that's always trying to work against us. It's trying to keep us safe. Most of our attitudes that we have in life is, how do we just survive till tomorrow? That is not what I'm trying to weaponize you guys with. I'm trying to weaponize you of, what is it that you want to get? What attitude? How do I maintain my attitude? And how do I dominate? So if I say attitude is everything, it absolutely is. You have fear, judgment, and ego that can dictate your every move. Sometimes people are afraid to try because they're worried about what people think of them. I call those the Instagram people that I hate getting pictures, right? If somebody sends a picture, oh my God, please don't post it on the internet, because what will people think? Who cares? Right? Your attitude should be, who cares? I'm doing this because I like to do this, right? It's a totally different mindset. Then there's the thing that, Dr. Grossi, don't you dare do the dentist CEO program, because don't you dare talk about attitude, because who are you to talk about attitude, for God's sakes, because your life's not perfect. Why would you even have the audacity to talk about attitude? I can tell you last week alone, for you that were not on the call, my gatekeepers creeped in. I'll be as vulnerable as you want. I'll be real. Because remember, I said I'm growing with you. I actually got off the call talking to one of my coaches and mentors, said, man, I don't think that went well. He says, well, what do you mean? I said, man, I just don't feel like I did as good as I could. I didn't serve people enough. And he says, hey, bro, your gatekeeper of egos keep creeping in. You might want to put it at bay. And I started chuckling. And then I realized, my God, wait a minute. My attitude then was so bad. I was thinking of it totally differently. I just switched my mindset and I said, wait a minute. I'm trying to make a difference in this world. I'm trying to make an impact on people's life. If my ultimate goal is to make the greatest impact on everybody's life I come into contact with, if there's one purpose, I accomplish my goal. So it's how I shift my mindset and attitude and my belief system. If I can get a result in one of your lives, it's totally different. So it's the way you look at everything. And then I really don't care about being judged, because at the end of the day, I'm just trying to serve people. And if you don't believe me, who cares? I should have a different attitude. So it's cool. Even myself, I fail every day. That's why we're growing together. That's why we're doing this. My attitude falls every day. The difference is how long do you stay there? Ask yourself that question. Because if your belief system can help change your attitude, and somebody can help change your attitude, the difference between winning and losing in life is how long somebody stays there. If you can minimize the time you stay in a bad attitude, because every single person on this call, every single person on this that's taking time out of their day will have a bad attitude again. We'll have a good attitude. But when you have those bad moments, can you identify it? Can you identify it? Can you identify what is a good behavior and bad behavior? And can you identify ways to get out of it? I told you, music, making something that makes you happy, thinking about your end results, having belief in yourself. Where do you want to go? Is it getting closer to or further away? Those are things that can help change your attitude. Guys, this is a little thing I want you to do. We got about on attitude. I want you to think of this. When you had a bad attitude, I'll bet you the way you got out of it is, I want you to think of, just close your eyes right now. I know you're on your phones or on cameras. I can't see your faces, but name a time or look for a time in your life when you got a positive result. So when you're stuck in that funk, Connor, who's on the call, Chandel, Mateen, Linda, Skylar, Linda's my mom, by the way, Ken, Guy, Drake, Christine, Angel, when you find yourself stuck with a negative mindset or bad attitude, remember when something worked out in your life. Remember when you wanted something so bad when you didn't think it was possible and it came to fruition. So therefore, you know you've already had results in certain things in your life that aren't going right. You just don't remember them because you just don't self-reflect. You know, we have this thing, and I'm a dentist, which from you guys that don't know, I'm a dentist, and my office gets so mad at me because we don't celebrate wins. And you know what? Part of them is absolutely correct. I don't celebrate enough wins. And the reason why I should celebrate a win is because it'll reiterate the belief system of the results I'm getting. So it's going to keep me closer to the path. I don't got to stay there long and celebrate, act like I'm the best thing since sliced bread. That's not what I mean. But when you are in a down spiral, think about the moment when something good happened in your life. We talked last week, is it the beginning or the end? Wouldn't that change your attitude? Wouldn't that really change your output? Wouldn't that change your insight in things? Is it the beginning and the end? We talked about last week a relationship. Well, what happens in a relationship? If it's the beginning of a relationship, you're all happy, joyous, and happy, right? We talked about this last week. Your attitude is totally different. And you're out to serve people. You're out to make the greatest difference. If you got a new job, you just start a new job, your attitude is happy because you love your new job. Oh my God, I'm going to get an opportunity. People believe me. This is the greatest place I slice bread. What happens after 20 years of having the same job? What happens after 20 years of the same counterparts that you work with? What happens in 20 years of a marriage? Well, you got a different attitude. You might actually had no attitude and now you have a bigger attitude. It might be a toxic attitude. My point is your behaviors will be totally different. So what if you treated everything as if it was the beginning versus the end? What if you can envision whatever you want in your life? Like, I'm just going to treat this like this is a new beginning. People that know me in dentistry, I reinvented myself in the last 2 months. I've told 20 years of doing dentistry, I've reinvented the way I do things. Why? Because I had people that were coming in learning from me. I had people that I invested in that I want to see become the best versions of themselves. And I know they push me every day. My staff pushes me every single day to bring the energy, to bring a good attitude, to make a difference. And I know that if I can reinvent myself 20 years into this, and find, you know what, is it the beginning or is it the end? This is a new beginning of a new legacy, of a new dream that I want to have, that I want to serve people. So of course my attitude is going to be different. Of course I'm going to look at things totally different. I'm starting a new venture in the Growing with Grossi thing that's hopefully makes an impact in somebody's life. Well, shit, I better bring the fire. I better bring the passion. This says right here, make a difference, passion and purpose right here, Growing with Grossi. Why did I put this shirt on today? You want to know why? I was having my scrub top on. You want to know why? I put my shield on to change my attitude. I put my uniform on to make sure I'm serving. I put something on to change my physiological behavior or belief system of what I think I'm trying to do. So when I'm speaking to serve. My attitude is totally different. I'm speaking to give you good golden nuggets that you could take and carry on. A legacy is carried on by how people think of you when you're gone. I want to make the greatest legacy I possibly can. I hope you guys do too. So when you're spiraling out of control, the question you got to ask yourself, because you're all going to have bad attitudes, guys. It's going to happen again. I'm going to ask a parent on this phone, a student on this phone, an entrepreneur on this phone, a healthcare worker on this phone. What is it that you're truly committed to? When you spiral out of control and you're stuck, I'm going to ask you this question. What is it that you're truly committed to? Because if you're spiraling out of control and you're miserable and you're unhappy, but you're committed to your family, all you got to do is take the attention off you. We talked about in baseball, when the guy makes the error and they put their head down, they're only thinking of their self. They're having a pity party for themselves. Guys, nobody in this world can be your savior. Nobody can give you hope. It's self-created. You must create a belief system that hope you can get results. But at the end of the day, if you're truly committed to winning the game in life, stop soaking and thinking it's about yourself. The minute you realize what you're committed to, I will tell everybody on blast right now on this call what I'm committed to. giving my family everything that I've never had. You probably say, why are you crying on this call? Because I'm so committed to making a difference. And I just keep reinventing myself to make a difference. Excuse me. I want to give people hope that don't have hope. I want to give people, I want to make their impossible possible. As Richie Dorn would say, I'm pretty present in the moment, so I apologize. I want to have my kids believe that anything they dream, they can achieve. I want to show you how a small town boy from a single mom raising 3 kids with a dad that was an addict making $18,000 a year can make it in life. I want you to stop playing victim to your circumstance and know that there's people here fighting every day to become the best version you could possibly be. So I'm committed to that. So that's what gets me up every day. And if you don't have that much purpose and passion in your life, find out what you love. Find out what truly lights you up. Find out what you're truly committed to. And I promise you, you will accomplish anything you could ever set your mind to. All your behaviors and attitudes right now are getting you closer to or further away. What is your true passion? What are you truly committed to? At the end of the day, your attitude will always be dictated by what you're truly committed to. So, man, I had to regroup. Sorry. Love you guys, by the way, for giving me the hearts and get me through that. I appreciate you all. Thank you so much. That means a lot to me. I'm just glad I'm serving you. And if this is, obviously, I hope this is as powerful for you as it is for me. So thank you so much. Mateen, for the 2 hands up in the prayers. Thank you, my friend. So let me tell you how your attitude is everything. And I'm going to transition to the importance of the planner that I created for you. And how the planner, that if you guys don't have it, please download it. Please load it up. This planner, your roadmap, your dreams, your self-assessment, your goals, your targets, this is all going to keep you on a platform to keep your attitude right and truly keep you on the level of commitment. So the importance of the reason why I love a planner, the reason why I love stuff that I have to write on paper is it forces my mind. The Bible says you must write things down in tablets. I talked about this last week. And if I'm talking spiritual on you, I apologize. I'm a spiritual guy. So if I offend you, hey, cool, call it the law of manifestation, call it the law of attraction, call it to whatever God you want to call it as. I have a God. Okay, that's what I believe. So my point is it says in the Bible, you must write things down on tablets. So the Bible is giving us all these roadmaps of what we're supposed to do, how we manifest the things we want in our life, but we don't take the time to do it. And I would challenge you, if you can't write down on a piece of paper what your dreams are, then they're not really dreams. You don't care enough about it. You're not truly committed to get there. So my intention of the planner, again, full circle, was just to keep you on track, to give you some sort of weapon, to give you some sort of strategy to kill and crush your goals and dreams, to keep you on that path when you're falling off, to kind of hold you accountable for the people that don't. You know, my brother-in-law says, how do you always make the time to do things? How do you, guys, I'm just committed to doing it. I take 10 minutes a day to meditate on the things that I want. I'll ask you, if you can't write 10 minutes a day of what you want in your life, okay, come on, dude, you're worth more than that, right? So the planner to me is, it sets up, what are my true dreams? You know, in my planner, I don't have mine down, but it really says to make the greatest impact in everybody's life I come in contact and give my family financial freedom. I don't want anybody to stress out anymore. Guys, I was growing up in Flint, Michigan. Money was always an issue with me. Of course, one of my dreams is to become financially free. There's nothing wrong with saying that. There's nothing wrong. If we're the king of the kings, if we're the head, not the tail, why do we feel sorry about asking about money? So one of my dreams and goals is money. It is what it is. It's not so that I'm rich. I talked to Ken the other day. Why do you want money? I think I talked to my brother. Why do you want money? I've already told you. So that I could give my family everything that they always wanted. So that I could give them dreams and hopes and visions so that I can make them financially free. Well, that's part of my journal. That's my plan. That's one of my dreams. One of my other dreams is to make the greatest impact in people's life that I come in contact with. Why do I write that down? Because it holds me accountable. Ready? It holds me accountable to make sure that my attitude every day matches what I put in that paper. So then it goes full circle. Am I going closer to or further away what my dreams are? If my behavior is changing, if I'm not responding in a way or giving a behavior in a way that matches what my goals and dreams are, then I got to self-correct, self-assess, figuring out if this is truly what I want in life. So guys, take the time in the planner, download it and do this free. It is like paper gold. I mean, literally, it's from masteries from people that have given me all these dreams, and I put it on a piece of paper. You can put your dreams down there. It goes, this is yours. I would love anybody who's ever interested to do a live class with me, and we could go through this thing and I could show you how to do everything I've done. I'd love that. If you're interested, like Ken or Annalisa, if you're on the call, give them the link or everything to kind of sign up for the free planner day with me. That'd be awesome. But it's not only important to dream. Your dreams, I'm going to say, I said it last week, your dreams are the precursor to life's comings and attractions. Your dreams is the precursor to life's coming attractions. If you can't see it, you can't achieve it. If you can't even dream it, you can never be it. So if that is the secret sauce in life to go manifest what you want, okay, let me give you an example. I was a baseball player. I was fortunate. I apologize. I was a bat boy for one of the greatest baseball players, Jim Abbott, who was the one-handed pitcher who threw no hitters for the New York Yankees. I was 14 years old at the time. Jim Abbott lost the regional championship, and this team, when they won, ran to our side, flipped us all off, and they called Jim Abbott Duck. They humiliated him, they belittled him, and they ridiculed him. And if anybody knows me, I'm a committed SOB that has an intention in life that will stop at nothing. I was not the pitcher at the time, but I would dream about the moment of when I could get redemption against Ypsilanti, Michigan. As a matter of fact, when we lost, when Jim Abbott was 18, I was the bat boy. We went in line and we shook all the players' hands, including the coaches. And I looked at the coach, and one day I said, I'm going to come back and haunt you. And he patted me on the head because I was 4'11" and 95 pounds, even as a junior in high school. At this time, I was not a junior. And he patted me and he goes, oh, that's cute. For 4 years, I cut the leaf out of a table, which my mom was not happy with. I put it on a tennis court fence, drilled holes through it, and I would pitch to it every single day that I could when the weather permitted. And I would learn all these pitches: knuckle curve, fastball, changeup. Now, understand, I was not a pitcher, but I dreamt about the moment of when I could get redemption to honor not only my grandfather, who is the sponsor, but redeem Jim Abbott. I dreamt about it for 4 years. We're going to fast forward to when I was 18 years old. I'm in the regional championship. We are playing, guess who? Ypsilanti, Michigan. I wasn't meant to pitch. One of our pitchers, his name was Ryan, gave up 8 runs in the first inning. Leon Stacy was my coach at the time, looks at me, he goes, does anybody want to pitch? I just pitched like 6 games in the tournament. This is before pitch counts. This is everything. But he goes, does anybody want to pitch? We had our ace. They had to beat us twice. I wasn't worried about really losing, but I just had to pitch. And I said, dude, I'll pitch. And all I can remember, I don't remember my brother going to a lot of games. My brother was the bat boy at the time too, but all I could remember was my brother saying, this is personal. This is personal. This is personal. And so what ended up happening was when it became personal is I got in this mindset of, oh my God, I've dreamt this. Well, make a long story short, obviously it was a little bit too long, but I ended up winning the game, and I went up to the coach at the end. And I said, do you remember me? And his exact quote was, holy shit, you were that bad boy. Now, if I never dreamt it, and I wasn't committed to going through it, and I didn't have the bulldog mentality and an attitude that it's possible, I would not have accomplished that. I would argue that I wouldn't. So to me, dreaming is ultimate. It sets you up to where your precursor is in life, where you want to go. Whatever your dreams are, just dream. Take the time just to dream. If it's a great relationship you want in your life, just dream it. If it's to be financially successful, just dream it. And what does it look like? You talk about vision boards and dreams. They're so big. Write it down. You want to be the best mother in the world? Just dream it. What does that look like? And then self-assess yourself. Go through your dreams when you're falling off track. Am I on the right path? Am I assessing everything right? Am I going in the right direction? Self-assessment is so important. When I follow the deep path, now the good news is in my business that I'm in, I got people that hold me accountable and they kind of self-assess for me. But if you don't take the time to self-assess, if you're working out and you don't take the time to measure your results, if you don't take the time to get on the scale, you don't take the time to take the measuring tape and measure your inches or your waist, you don't even know if you're getting it. So you must always self-assess. And then lastly, what is your clear intentions and defining of your goals? What is it that you really want to accomplish? And we talked about in the past, a goal. A goal is this big thing. How do you take the goal that's a big thing and then you break it down to little targets? Because those targets are going to help you keep laser focused, which is going to give you the small little singles and wins that you need every single day to crush and dominate your dreams and goals. It's that simple. It is that simple. Your dream, you must see it to achieve it. Dream, self-assess, define your goals. What are they really is? Take a little bit, are you on track weekly? Are you on track monthly? Are you on track daily? Guys, in my dental office alone, we talk about monthly, daily, weekly goals, hourly goals. We break it all down. We just break it down in little bite-sized pieces so that we know we're on track. I'll bet you every single person in my office knows exactly what we have to generate every single day and every single week to crush our goals. Because our end goals might be this, but our targets are this. So take your end goal, broad picture, 5-year, 10-year goal, break them down in little bite-sized pieces. We call them targets. Why are they called targets? Because they're going to make us be laser focused. You're going to hit a bullseye versus a big target. You want to hit the bullseye. So you got to be laser focused. And then when you hit those little targets, you'll be dominating and win. And then turn everything that your goals are. So your dreams, when you self-assess, and then when you define your goals, turn them into have-tos, not want-tos. Take everything that you want, instead of I want to do this, to I have to do it. Because it changes your whole outlook and mindset you have in life. If your want-tos become have-tos, if your interests become commitments, you will stop at nothing to crush it. It wasn't that I wanted to be a dentist. I had to be a dentist. The minute you committed, the minute you commit to something, the minute I invested over $200,000 in my education to be a dentist, it went from a want to I had to. The minute I had a child and my wife, beautiful wife, in dental school, it became from a want to a had to. That's why I could work third shift at times at GM. That's why I could work on the weekends in dental school. That's why I could commute back and forth from Flint to Detroit, right? Raising a child and having a wife and doing all this stuff at the same time, because it went from a want to a had to. There was no option. Tony Robbins says, burn the ships. You got to burn the ship, dude. Like you left, like it's gone. That's no longer you. That past is the past. Rafiki said it in Lion King. He goes, ow, that hurt. He goes, what do you care? It was in the past. That's a Lion King. I love Lion King. That's a little joke. My point is take the want tos to a have tos. If you can change that mindset in your life, you'll accomplish nothing. You'll accomplish everything. I apologize. So we're going to end this call a little bit early. Everything is great. You guys are going to have maybe 20 more minutes of your lunch. But first of all, I want to say this to all of you. Every single person on this call. Once again, thank you for allowing me to help you. Thank you for growing with me. And thank you for allowing me to be the person I inspired to be and I have goals to be. Thank you for blessing me with your time when you could be doing something totally else. So just from the bottom of my heart to all of you, thank you and love. I mean that with love. But if there was one request I had for you, one thing I need from you, if you guys could please submit something in my planner. Like if you write down your dreams, please just submit one piece of paper. Submit something to me that might show that I might be having an impact to you, or I could help you accomplish or crush your dreams. That's all I'm asking. If this call services you, if this call is doing anything for you, please like it. But at the end of the day, please just submit something on a planner that I know that you are committed to getting the results you want and crushing your life. Can I get a thumbs up if you all hear that? Somebody, thumbs up, a heart, anything? Thank you. Please take the time to love yourself enough, to care about yourself enough, to inspire to live a legacy for your family enough, to try to crush and accomplish your dreams enough, to just take the time to submit something to me in the planner. And I promise you we'll go on this journey together. And I promise you I will help you crush and accomplish anything you have your heart set to. Guys, I love you. I appreciate you. May you all have a blessed day. Thank you so much.